So now this is your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into this next damn reaction, shall we? Uh, Chico, shout outs to you. We reacted to you a couple days ago, and I said I wanted to go ahead and talk about this. When you liked anime in high school, and I very much am one of those people that is I loved anime since it is I was in the single digit age. So I'm curious to know what is going to be talked about within this video. I'm probably going to put my input here and there throughout this. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
Liking anime in high school was crazy, bro. Not only was it just basically not allowed because that was social aside, but it was also that weird thing where like certain people were able to like anime, like as long as they pretended that it wasn't a big deal. Like you got that one popular kid that wore a Goku shirt, but if you asked him about Dragon Ball Z, they'd be like, yeah, I've watched, the occasional, but like they weren't really big fans. It was kind of like they were just doing it to be cool. It's like those kids that wore Metallica shirts in high school and shit. Like, come on, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Your Apple Music's looking real Lil Baby, Lil Durk. Maybe Playboy Cardi on a good day. You were never really able to own that you liked anime publicly. It was seen as an L, it was seen as like cringe, and all those things are true. Like majority of anime fans are probably some of the most deplorable human beings that I've ever met in my entire life.
I mean, and to be honest with you, like as much as it is me liking anime in high school, it was never, especially a girl liking anime in high school, was even more taboo. Now, I've done quite a list of different things within my public school career as of different sports. I didn't do track until college, but I've done volleyball, I've done cheerleading, I've done gymnastics, occasional basketball here and there. I've even messed around and did like some hockey here and there. Like I was a very athletic kid. So for me to do this, and especially as saying it is I was a cheerleader, and then saying it is that like I liked anime and video games and stuff like that was not necessarily the thing it is that you would normally hear like that. But when you see stuff of like Dragon Ball Z was always talked about. That was like the biggest thing. Dragon Ball Z and Naruto was like the two biggest things. Then you had Samurai Champloo, a couple other stuff like Gundam, all somewhat of shows it is that was talked about. And you had, especially growing up like in my era when you had WWE, just go ahead and just like, doing the whole socket motions and the kamehamehas and stuff like that we was doing like in playgrounds and stuff. Yes, that we was real big into those type of things as a kid. But being an avid anime lover as a child meant it is you was getting picked on. It meant it is that people thought you was weird. People thought it is that you was weird. It's like, oh, why would you like something like this? Like, who watches anime? Who watches those type of cartoons and stuff like that? Those are things it is that was said when it is that I was a kid, right? So now that we have content creators, big content creators who are always a nerd, still is a nerd. Now there's an acceptance on being nerds. Now we have this level of like, oh, everybody wants to go ahead and watch anime. But I've always talked about this, that people it is who watch anime don't really watch anime like that. Because there's certain things it is that I question, or hell, we've even seen this too. People go to anime conventions and don't know not jack squat about with the show. And furthermore, people that do cosplay. I'm like, and now you don't have to full-fledged know every single thing in order to cosplay. That's subjective at the end of the day, is whatever it is you want to do. But at least know something. At least know something. You should, there's no way it is you have an Inosuke cosplay, but then you don't know jack squat about what's happening within like the next part of like Demon Slayer, stuff like that. Those are examples. You know what I mean? They could have forgot the stuff. No. I'm talking about I asked somebody this, and there's like, oh, I don't know. I don't watch Demon Slayer. With a damn Inosuke cosplay on, bro. That was good, RJ. Stuff like that makes me mad. It's like, I've seen a lot of Todorokis as well that cosplays, and like they don't know jack squat about him neither.
If anybody that actively watches hentai,
I almost punched you in your chest just now.
like anybody who is an enjoyer of hentai, like I'm sorry, I don't care if I really offend you, but your parents should be really ashamed of you. Like it should be a known thing that you're like a danger to society, and I mean that in the worst way possible. But for the average anime fan who like maybe watch Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, the black people starter animes, you weren't even able to like that shit, bro. It really wasn't until maybe 2018, 2019 that it became socially acceptable to kind of like anime. And when I say like anime, it's like, oh yeah, you know, you watch the most mainstream shit, right? You can't be liking anything other than Dragon Ball Z. If you say the word Soul Eater, you getting packed out in the back of the classroom. I had a couple of traumatic experiences telling people I liked anime, right? You know, I had this friend in elementary school who he would always talk about Pokemon in class. He'd be like, oh yeah, I watch Pokemon.
Was another one.
I collect the cards, I play the games, I bring my DS to school to play Pokemon. Like, you know, I was one of those kids, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if we'll call him Alex. If Alex can play Pokemon and still talk to girls and still have homies and still be socially acceptable as a human, there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to talk about my love for Naruto and Dragon Ball, right? I'm in class and I'm like, oh yeah, so you guys like Pokemon? Everyone's like, yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Pikachu, right? The most basic ass pleb shit. So I'm like, oh yeah, what do y'all think about Naruto? Crickets. Sweat starts running down my forehead. I'm looking back and forth and back, up and down, and it's not getting any better. The crickets are starting to turn into like low-key judgmental looks. You know, I'm starting to get judgmental eyes peering on me. I start making it worse for myself. I didn't know that you couldn't talk about those things, right? They start clowning me. You know, they start saying like, why am I watching Asian cartoons? I'm getting slapped on the back of my neck. I go home, my father beats me like every Tuesday. But then on top of the fact that he beats me, he disowns me.
That's dumb, son. Get the back on the farm. Get the back on the farm. You're not doing that. Stupid.
He's like, son, I was gonna be in your life, but
that's been said before. It's not far-fetched. It's been said before. It's like, why are you watching those Asian cartoons? That's been said before. People actually say stuff like this. Just complete brain rot shit it is that people will think.
Shit you watch is that shit's ridiculous, son. And he jumped out the window and I never saw him again. This was the societal problem about liking anime, right? And then life was already bad as it is, but then you had one of the biggest, most influential YouTubers drop the video that every anime fan knows about. We've all seen this YouTube video, right? And nothing he said in this video was wrong, and anything he's the GOAT for sure. But like, bro, he put a stain on anime fans. After that video dropped, let you say that you even know an anime, all of a sudden you're a weeaboo. Like, get a job, weeb. You're never gonna go to Japan. Now, like I admitted in my last video, I did have a phase where I thought I was gonna move to Japan. And yes, I would have needed subtitles. No, I didn't know a lick of Japanese. Now as a grown man and assess things through like a grown man's lens, I can tell you that I don't know what the fuck I would have done in Japan. Like, I would have got there, I couldn't speak the language. When there wasn't anime bitches and thigh highs, I probably would have been disappointed. I'd be like, oh, everyone here hates themselves. This is just the United States, but more bright. Under no circumstances had any logical thinking about wanting to move to Japan. And like,
believe it or not, local Japanese people, my fellow Japanese people that are in the country, actually, they applaud when they see Westerners learn the language, learn the culture of Japan. Believe it or not. It's the ones that are like overly critical of this. That be, oh, it sounds American, but it is, you say Japanese words. Like, but Megan Thee Stallion, for instance, with Mashumi and the other song it is that she made that had a little bit of Japanese words in there. Like, believe it or not, a lot of Japanese people co-signed it. There's like, oh my God, there's people that's actually like want to learn our culture. They want to know the language. They want to come out here and stuff like that. That is actually accepted, to be honest with you. So going to Japan it'd be such like a learning curve to know like the different things because, you know, it's a new language trying to learn. But and then also like Japan's transits and stuff like that, it could be quite confusing even for a local out there. But I promise you, it would be very accepting. I would not sleep on that that idea because I would love to go to Japan just as much. But you know, it's very much so. That was good, Kevin. How are you?
like anime, I was just so delved deep in that shit. I thought anime Monster Girls was gonna tickle my feet when I got there.
Brother.
Sickening. I hate
weebs.
I think there's a level of like when you're in school where like you probably should just keep that shit on wraps, right? Like we all knew the kid who anime ran. We all knew the kid who he would talk like he was an anime villain, like he would anime laugh and be like, "Fools, your time has come." Like he, you know, and it's being like that is like that's acceptable as to why you shouldn't be able to breathe the same air as everybody else on campus. I understand that part, right? But just being a casual fan of anime should not like have been such a big deal. Like it shouldn't have ostracized you from normal human interaction, right?
Especially considering a lot of y'all who don't even watch anime got a lot of weird fetishes and things that y'all are into to begin with. I don't know why y'all was getting on anime kids' heads, especially when y'all was watching like the booby scenes of regular movies that came on anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the anime had a bad rep because kids were wearing the anime girl face shirts and things like that, which, like I said previously, if you're wearing that shit, you deserve to be packed out. Like, no question. But like, for people who just are casual enjoyers of anime and series and things like that, or manga or whatever they were delving,
That would have been so cool. Like, oh yeah, that would have been amazing to like meet voice actors and stuff. Because honestly, a lot of the voice actors within anime are relatively the same. They do different roles. And the more it is that I learn about it, I'm like, oh wow, like quite a few of the voice actors in Japan do a lot of different roles. It would have been very cool to like see that and to get the chance to meet them. You know what I mean? But Japan is wholeheartedly on my bucket list to go to.
when their balls into getting dick cheese from. I don't think that we should have like hated on them for that, because it's really just cartoons, right? Nobody was walking up to you like, you watch SpongeBob? What the fuck? Like, nobody says shit like that. But when it came to anime, that shit was weird and cringe. And you know, it's ironic considering like most of the time in anime, all they be doing is boxing. All they do is box. Like 90% of anime is just a dude punching each other. But it's cool when it's in the UFC or in boxing, but when it's in the anime, it's lame because it's drawn by hand. Their animators working thousands of hours to provide entertainment, but it's lame because it's in Japanese. That's a little weird, you know what I'm saying? Because like if there was an American show where they were just boxing and cartoons, y'all would praise that shit up to the fucking heavens. But because it's an anime, now it's gay. But all right, bro. With high school though, you're in a prison with a bunch of rabid animals. You know, you have Edgars, you have hood dudes. You're in a box of people who don't belong together. If you enjoy anything that's outside of the status quo, what's acceptable to enjoy in high school, automatically you're a loser. Most people that you know were like secretly anime fans. Like secretly, like they couldn't.
You'd be surprised at how many hood niggas watch anime. You'd be surprised at how many hood niggas watch anime, bro. That I think that shocks me the most. Of like, it don't matter to who it is. Like anime could the audience for anime, because there's so many different types of anime related like shows, different type of genres. Like it could relate to anybody, which is the coolest thing about it. And there's always teachable life learned lessons within the show. That's the beauty of it. That is the wholehearted beauty of it, which is why I'm like, you can't sit there and talk badly about with animes, especially when it is like you haven't watched it. You may not understand it, but you know, are you going to DreamCon next year? We'll see if it is if I do. Because the fact that it's in Houston, like that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've said this years ago when they switched it from Arlington. I was like, you know, Houston would be like a relatively good thing for them to do, but you know, Austin wasn't that bad. I get the fact that the Austin Convention Center is under construction from like I think 2029 or the next like 5 years, something like that. But Houston's that's a good place to have it.
Didn't say it, but they liked anime. Most majority of people like anime, but a lot of people were too ashamed to say that shit, myself included, because I knew the rap that anime had. I would have rather kept my like social status, or what little social status I had, by not admitting like I liked anime. My interest had to be relegated to like basketball and food. Like yeah, I like basketball and food, bro. No, that Goku shirt is not mine, bro. My little brother put it in my backpack by accident. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't really be yourself.
Right, Babs?
And what good is life if you can't be yourself? You know what I'm saying? But if you like anime and that's your thing and you were into it, don't feel ashamed. Don't be a little peewee and like hide it, bro. Like honestly, who cares? Like who cares if people make fun of you? Because at the end of the day, most people who are like ripped as fuck that I know, even just in the gym, they all started doing that, going to the gym and getting on self-improvement and shit because of anime. Like
exactly. Dragon Ball Z has such a high impact on that with like the training, the amount of food it is that you eat and stuff like that. Hell yeah. A lot of the people it is that go to the gym and work out and stuff, yes, they watch anime, bro. You should see like it's not even just the shirts it is that they wear to the gym. You have the Akatsuki um lifting belts at this point. You got like the gloves and everything of that. Like the Akatsuki Cloud shit has now made it in so many different gym apparel stuff. It is so cool to see that because now it's like the two best things in this world, the gym and anime, into one. I love it. I absolutely love it, bro. I love it. I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so yes, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So realistically, anime is not that bad. Anybody who has that opinion is really just hating. And like I've hated in the past. Like I said, like I had to get back into anime because I was so
She did the
weirded out
fart
by the
sound.
social thing around it. But like
Yeah.
honestly, anime is not as big of a hoopla and as big of a cringe thing as everybody says it is.
It is
A lot
a
of
hell of
y'all
a
are just
drip bag.
overreacting. But you know, if you have your opinion and you think anime sucks, you comment down below. Let me know in the comments. Not that I really care, but you know, I like to see opinions in the comments. And for those of you that like the video, like anime, all of that, make sure you like the video, comment down below, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.
Hell yeah. He said, I remember getting roasted back in the day for liking anime. I feel like it is we all have at one point. Because I was mentioning that earlier, that it is that I did. I definitely did. I used to get picked on for being skinny, you know, having glasses, like liking video games, liking anime. It's so many different things. It is just like, oh, that's not cool. This is and this. Like, all right, cool. All right, guy. You know, it's weird. I've been called white for liking anime. That too. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Some people make liking anime so hard sometimes. It's even harder now to where it is that you got these so-called anime watchers going to these conventions and stuff like that, and then doing some fuck shit that they ain't got no business doing. It makes it even worse for us. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it is us as cool, actual, functional, normal people it is within the community need to stay together. And all the y'all it is that be on that fuck shit, y'all gotta go. Yeah, y'all gotta go. But Chico, shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. I appreciate that so much. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.
Oh, chosen trickster.